Sub-Ohm Tank review number 50. And today we're going to be talking about the Super Tank by Tobeco. And why am I reviewing this? Well, I got many reasons, but the first one is she's cheap. The place I got this from is selling it for 20 bones. 2, it's a top filling device, which means it's more convenient to fill her up. And you know what? I haven't had any leaking off this device. 3, she holds a good amount of juice, 4 mils. 4, the 2 coils that came with this device have treated me right, man. I mean, I've had great flavor, gotten great flavor off those coils, great vapor production. Each coil has lasted me 3 weeks. 3 weeks! 5, if you don't prefer to use the coil heads that came with this, you can always use the Atlantis coil heads because they are compatible. And lastly, you get airflow for days. You got adjustable airflow. You'll see in the close-ups, but yeah, it's great for those lung hitters. It's on point for the lung hitters. Oh yeah! So right now I've got this Super Tank sitting on the Hanamods V4, the V4D, which means this device holds 2 18650 batteries. Got her set to 40 watts max in just regular mode because the coil heads that come with this are just regular Canthal coil heads. And I've got the 0.5 ohm coil head in here right now. Got the airflow wide open, baby. Like I said, for a tank, great flavor, kick-ass vapor. I mean, every juice that I've vaped, anything above 70 VG, and it starts to get, I mean, you get dry hits, but it's pretty good as long as you keep it primed. But 70 VG and thinner, and you are rocking and a rolling. The juice I have in here right now is a 60 VG based juice, and I'm getting full-on flavor. It wicks perfectly every time. The vapor production, you saw it. Whoa, kick-ass. So before I go over the cons, I'm going to go ahead and take you guys up close, and then we'll come back, and then I'll talk about those cons, and I'll let you know where you can get one, and we'll wrap it up. Ready, Teddy? Let's go! So here's the box this Super Tank comes in. The box has a magnetic flap on the side, as you guys can see, but you open that sucker up, and then inside you got your Super Tank along with an extra 0.5 ohm dual coil head. So let's go ahead and start with this extra coil head. Each extra coil head that comes with this boxing or package, okay, is in a little wrapper, plastic wrapper. And there she is. You got 4 juice feeding slots on the outside, 2 larger and then 2 smaller. And then up top you get your vertical coil. Each wrap is in parallel. Okay, you see that material in there? That's not organic cotton. That is that ceramic fiber material that we all saw in the old Atlantis coil heads. That's what this is. On the outside you got cotton. But then on the inside, you got that ceramic fiber material or something, whatever that stuff is. You guys know what I'm talking about, the stuff that just breaks apart. But how it works, just like all the other sub-ohm tanks and sub-ohm tank coil heads, you got your airflow right here. The airflow comes through the base of the actual device, through this, up through the coil. But the juice feeds through these juice holes, these juice feeding holes, to the wick and then to the coil. So this is the material that I was talking about. It's like that ceramic fiber material or whatever. It's not organic cotton, that's for sure. But here is the inside of a 0.2 ohm coil head. Got that metal screen up top. And that ceramic fiber type of material is wrapped around the coil. And it just kind of breaks apart, okay? Kind of crumbles. As long as it stays wet, it stays together. But if it's dry, it'll crumble, flake apart. So here's an up-close look at the Super Tank. Now, a few specs for you. She holds about 4 mils of e-liquid in width, okay? She's about 22.5 millimeters in width, and then in height, she's about 65.75 millimeters. The adjustable airflow ring section and then the heatsink fin section is made of aluminum, and then the rest of this device is primarily made of 304 grade stainless steel. Here's the base. You have a non-adjustable 510 connection pin, and here are your 510 threads. Smooth, smooth, smooth. So here's a close-up look at the adjustable airflow ring. The adjustable airflow, you got 2 different airflow options, one massive slot on one side, one massive slot on the other, and then you grab a hold of these little divots on each side, which gives you a better grip, and then you just turn it and you go to your other second airflow option, and it's a smaller, obviously. Turn it back, and it's not the smoothest adjustable airflow ring that I've dealt with. Definitely not, okay? I could feel the adjustable airflow ring rubbing against the metal underneath it. I don't know if you can hear this. I could feel it grinding against that metal, and it does click into place. It's not going anywhere. And also, I did not mention this, but this does come with a coil already installed, a 0.2 ohm vertical dual coil. Starting from the top, drip tip comes out like so. And she's got 0 O-rings, which is pretty darn cool. She's lined with Delrin, and this is made of stainless steel and Delrin. And the bore is 7.2 millimeters. Aluminum top cap section unscrews from the top. Almost feels like plastic. And to me, here's the coolest feature of this device. You can feel this sucker from the top. Okay, you feel it from this port right here, and this other hole is to let the air escape. It allows the air to escape. The center shaft is 6.1 millimeters in diameter. You got this O-ring on the outside to seal in the juice and seal in the air. Threads for the aluminum cap to screw into. Grab a hold of the base to unscrew the rest of this device, or unscrew the shaft and top cap section from the coil head. And the top cap / shaft section is all one piece. Threads are decent. Tank comes out like so. And this is Pyrex, by the way. Coil head is screwed into the base. And here is the 0.2 ohm vertical dual coil head. Time to fill this sucker up. I'm going to go ahead and screw this 0.2 ohm vertical dual coil head in here, and then I'm going to prime her up. Coil head screws into the shaft / top cap. Make sure she's nice and tight. Fill her up to the top. And I like to leave a little air pocket at the top. Aluminum cap screws on. Drip tip. Boom. And that right there is a close-up look at the Super Tank by Tobeco. Let's go ahead and take her back to FaceTime. So I found 4 cons for this Super Tank. The first one, when I first got this sucker, it was a biatch to get this thing apart. Threads were just too damn tight. It took me 5 minutes. But I got her apart. I was able to clean her, pop the coil in there, fill her up, and get good to go. But I gotta mention this because this is part of the first con. When you go to switch out coil heads, it's a bitch getting it apart. You gotta hold down that airflow ring at just the right amount, because if you don't, it'll spin and spin and spin and you won't ever get it apart. Yeah, what I do is I take a paper towel, I hold it down, get my finger in the right way, and then I can unscrew it. But like I said, it's a biatch to get it apart and switch out coil heads. 2, as you guys saw in the close-ups, okay, these coil heads kick ass, man. You get great flavor, but they have that ceramic fiber material or whatever people are calling it nowadays. It's that stuff that just falls apart. It's just fluffy. Now here's the thing, okay, if you feel uncomfortable with it, you can always go to the Atlantis coil heads, but it's got to be mentioned that it's using that material because some people are just uncomfortable with it. And the last con I found for this device, and this is going to be subjective, but this thing does not come with an RBA section, and you know how I feel about that. So the place I received this Super Tank from was actually from the manufacturer Tobeco. But there is a shop in the States selling this sucker for 20 bones. 20 bones, that's right, and that shop is called Epic Vape, epicvape.com. I'll have a link in the description. Now on to the big question, the big answer of the day. If I'd have lost this today, would I go out tomorrow and buy one? And the answer is nope. I don't like the way it looks. I think it looks cheap, but that's my opinion. That's all subjective. I have other sub-ohm tanks that are my speed. They may not be your speed, but they're my speed. This just isn't one of them. This is Rip Trippers, and remember, smoking is dead, vaping is the future, and the future is now.